On to race number 7, and the 7th on the programme. We have a field of 8 going round here. It's Class 3 over the 1,000 metres, headed by Smart Leader. His Hong Kong debut, a 3-time winner in Australia. Turf Sprint from Barrier 1. Zach Pert in the saddle drops down to the minimum trip for his return. Midnight Rattle has been up at Chung Fa. Golden Dash, Blinkers On goes up in class. Goko goes up in class as well, and down to Nice Fandango. He's been up at Chung Fa as well. A 3-time winner last season. So confirmation of the horses that have travelled down. Turf Sprints, Midnight Rattler and Nice Fandango. The dates they return again. Midnight Rattler came back on Friday.
Yeah, he's just rocked in late, hasn't he, for his performance for the season at Sha Tin. Pace from Goko, Nice Fandango. Golden Dash will not be far away. He's got blinkers on. Smart Leader, called Scarecrow in Australia before he came to Hong Kong, has shown some pace in trials. His efforts were over longer. Turf Sprints trialled beautifully going in here. This is Midnight Rattler led a trial at Chung Fa.
His Turf Sprint. Now, we've shown him a lot last season, pulling and reefing. He's doing it a little bit to a degree here, but I've seen him a lot worse. So I just thought I'd show it because he seems to have settled a little bit. I know it still looks like he's doing it a little bit there, but it's not nowhere near as bad as it has been. Strathclyde always works well on the all-weather, and most of his better runs have been on that surface. But he will come in with a lightweight with a 10-pound claim aboard is the 3 Strathclyde. And here's Midnight Rattler. Here's a piece of track work from Chung Fa. He's been a bit of an enigma. He's a very hard horse to catch, Midnight Rattler, because he's definitely got the ability. He's put on 19 pounds, so there's something up in there, Chung Fa. He's up there, put on a bit of weight, and he's travelled backwards and forwards.
Well, that's one of the things John Moore talked about on the specials. The reason he sent a horse like him up there was to freshen him up, because the ability is there with him for sure. All right, well, another horse that's been up at Chung Fa is Nice Fandango. His trainer is Casper Founds.
Nice Fandango, Casper. Interesting horse, given that his preparation has been mainly at Chung Fa leading into this. Yeah. Can you just tell us a bit about what you've done with him?
Yeah, he's on the fresh side, straightforward horse. He's got great gate speed. He'll put himself right up there on the speed and make his own luck. Obviously, a small field will help him, lightweight. You know, I'm sure he'll run a big race.
What was it about him that you decided to send him to Chung Fa?
Oh, we've got to send a few horses there, so, you know, most of mine will go there for 3 to 4 weeks and throughout the season. It's been great. The horses have been thriving over there, looking a treat. And now it's hopeful when we get them into the races, they can come here and perform.
He raced towards the end of last season. Did you want to send him in with a bit of a freshen up rather than send him to the trials leading in?
Correct, yeah. He's a straightforward horse. 1,000 metres, you don't really need a trial. He's had a great prep for it, and he'll be thereabouts.
He's got great straight-line speed as well. Nice Fandango. Turf Sprint, we saw him in track work. You're saying he sometimes just pulls a little bit, but he's been going beautifully here in the morning, Paul.
Yeah, he does settle well in his trials. I think maybe he's not an early riser, really. But when he does do the trials, he seems to be going well. And he's a really well-rated horse at the moment. When he did win his last start, it was off 84.
He's been one of your favourites over a long period of time, Paul. Zach Pert was aboard in this trial. He's had a long time away from the track. He hasn't raced since the end of February. There's been reasons, ligament injury, primarily, and a lame right front foot issue as well, but he looks pretty cherry ripe. All
right, this is Golden Dash in the Montreal trial. 4 starts, he's won 2 of them.
He has, and they're putting the blinkers on for the first time. You can see him trialling these blinkers. Now, Montreal is a very high-class horse, and these two sort of went to the line really, really well together, and I just think he can win this race. So I've got him on top, Golden Dash.
Same. I liked his win on debut, and then his next 2 runs, they just sort of looked a little bit below par, but I think the off-season's seen him come on a fair bit, and expect him to be very competitive.
All right, Smart Leader. Scarecrow, as you pointed out, Brett, when trained in Australia by Tony McAvoy, but his wins have been up to 1,400 metres.
Yeah, so he might be looking for a bit longer, but this was a good trial from him. He may get run off his legs a little bit in the early stages. But it was interesting that he started his racing in South Australia at Gawler, which is sort of provincial, then went to Morphettville, yes, and then went to Flemington. So 5th in the CS Hayes behind Grunt as well, only beaten 2 lengths. So he was a very progressive horse in a short space of time. Be interesting to see whether he can follow that through here.
You could say he's outstanding in this field, couldn't you? And he's been left-handed most of the time, though. So it's interesting to see how he goes right in.
True. All right, OK. 8 runners, Golden Dash, our favourite, Paul.
And I've got him on top as well. Didn't put the Scarecrow in. I've got him on top to beat Turf Sprint. He's really well rated at the moment. Goko does go nicely down the straight 1,000. And Nice Fandango's got plenty of speed. 5, 2, 6 and 8, but I think 5 can win this.
Same here. I've got 5 on top as well, Golden Dash. I'm going to throw in Smart Leader, the former Tony McAvoy trained runner. And Gawler actually is the second metropolitan track in Adelaide too.
Good pies here, you're telling me.
Good bakery, definitely. And not a bad golf course either. 5-1, 2-turf sprint, and GoCo goes in for fourth.
All right, we don't... not too different from me. 5, 2, 6, 8. Same numbers as Paul, in actual fact, there for race number 7. 3 more to go then. Race number 8. We'll be right up after this.